Made a few updates to our templates. If you've attended one of the live trainings, we had a few questions and suggestions. So we took those into consideration and updated a few things on Dotloop. So if you've already had a chance to play with the system or see one of the trainings, this is just a quick update on how to use the new templates. So I'm going to go in and start a new loop. And for this example, I'm going to use the seller template. Let's get into this. All right, when you open this up, it's going to look a little bit different. We have a few different folders here. If you remember on SkySlope, we had a documents tab that was kind of a mess of documents, everything that you've uploaded to the loop, maybe extra forms that don't need to be turned in, things like that. And then we had the checklist tab where it was a more clean, organized tab of all of your required forms. So this is kind of the same concept here. This loop documents folder is going to be for you to use however you wish. You can add anything into here, upload whatever you want, name your file names whatever you want. This is just for you. And when all of your forms are completed, you're going to use these two folders down here. So we have a folder for your listing contract documents. And then eventually when you have an accepted contract, we have a folder for that as well. If you want to get these out of your view for now, you can just click on that folder name to minimize that. But let's go in and add documents into this loop folder to start signing a contract. You're going to click this Add Document button. And let's get into templates. We also had a question about templates for a single buyer or a single seller versus two buyer, two seller, just to make it quicker and easier on you. So we have made that update now. For this example, I'm going to grab a seller packet for one seller. Instead of these folders having every form you could ever need for a seller, these are just your basic required forms that you're going to use for a seller or for a buyer if you're doing a buyer contract. You can still find every other form that you need in this PJ Morgan Real Estate Master folder, but for this example, we're just signing a listing agreement for one seller, so we're going to hit Select All and then Copy. If you hit this Add Document button again, that'll make that little window go away for you. So when we selected all, maybe we didn't actually need the lead-based paint disclosure. That can be deleted easily just by clicking these three dots over here and hit Archive. So let's skip forward and pretend like you have filled out this form, you've sent it for signatures, they are completed, maybe you've uploaded some flattened documents from elsewhere, and they have a weird file name. That's okay, because before you submit your contract for review, let's open up this listing contracts document folder, and you're going to see all the forms that processing needs to see. So let's say this agency disclosure, all of these forms have been signed, they're completed. All you're going to do is grab this anywhere on this line, click and hold down, and drag it down into this folder. You're going to see that little notification that says Replace with Agency Disclosure, and that's where you're going to drop it. Continue to do this for all of your forms. If you accidentally grab a form and put it in the wrong place, that's okay. You can grab it again down here and drag it into the right place. When you are ready to submit your file, instead of emailing all of these forms like we used to, we're going to go up to Submit for Review. And then it's going to ask you just a few things. All we want to know is the address. This would have already been filled in if you use the autofill function. The listing date and expiration date. And then instead of using new listing checklist like we had before, we're just going to ask you those marketing questions right here. So do you need a flyer? Yes or no? Do you need an email blast? Yes or no? I'm going to fill this in really quick just to show you guys the next step. And now it's asking which file do we want to submit for review. So when you're working with a seller, you may have multiple folders with different offers, things like that. We don't care about the offers that weren't accepted. We don't care about your loop documents. That's just for your own personal use. All we want to see is your final listing contract documents or your final accepted purchase contract documents. In this example, we're going to turn in our listing contract documents. You can add a note to processing if you wish, and then go ahead and hit submit. If you add more forms to this, maybe you have a price reduction or something along that lines, maybe a listing extension, go ahead and add it right down here. If you have a weird file name, you can click these three dots and rename the file to whatever it needs to be. And then you're going to hit submit for review again. If you guys have any questions on this or any issues with it, please let me know, but I'm hoping this makes it a little bit easier on you guys. So feel free to reach out anytime if you need any more help with this. Thank you.